My sister stole $50,000 using my identity, and my family called me selfish for not helping her. Now karma has hit them and they're all under investigation. I-28F. Still can't believe I'm writing this, but after everything that exploded at our family Christmas dinner last night, I need to get this off my chest and maybe get some outside perspective on whether I'm actually the one in the wrong here. The nightmare started 3 months ago when I tried to refinance my mortgage to take advantage of the lower interest rates. I'd been saving carefully for years, working my way up in my marketing career, and finally bought my small house 2 years ago. I was proud of maintaining perfect credit and thought the refinance would be straightforward. The loan officer's expression when she pulled up my credit report was my first clue something was terribly wrong. She asked me about several outstanding personal loans, and my stomach dropped when she turned the screen to show me. There were 5 different loans totaling over $50,000 that I had absolutely never taken out. My hands started shaking as I looked at the dates, amounts, and lender names I didn't recognize. What followed was weeks of pure hell trying to untangle this mess. I filed police reports, spent hours on the phone with credit bureaus, and gathered documentation from the lenders. At first, I thought it was random identity theft, but then the evidence started pointing to something I didn't want to believe. The loans were all taken out locally, in person, using my social security number and what turned out to be a fake driver's license with my information but a different photo. Around this time, I started noticing my sister posting on social media about her financial turnaround. She had been complaining about credit card debt for years, always borrowing money from family and living beyond her means. Suddenly, she had paid off all her cards and bought a new car. The timing lined up perfectly with when these fraudulent loans appeared on my credit report. I kept quiet and started digging deeper. The loan applications had her address listed as the primary residence. 2 of the banks provided security camera footage showing her at their branches on the dates the loans were processed. But what really confirmed it was what I found when I visited her apartment under the pretense of borrowing a sweater, copies of the fake ID she'd used, tucked away in her desk drawer when I accidentally knocked over her papers while she was in the bathroom. Looking back through old photos, I realized she had started dressing more like me around the time the fraud began. Same hair color, similar style, she was literally impersonating me to take out these loans. She must have gotten my social security card and other documents from our parents' home office, where they keep important family papers in a filing cabinet. I spent weeks gathering evidence, making copies, and consulting with a lawyer. Part of me hoped there was some explanation, that maybe someone had stolen both our identities. But the proof was undeniable. My own sister had stolen thousands of dollars using my identity, potentially ruining my credit and my chance at refinancing my home. I decided to confront her at our family Christmas dinner. In hindsight, maybe that wasn't the best choice, but I wanted to give her a chance to come clean in front of everyone. I thought having the family there would make her finally take responsibility. I expected shock from my parents, support for me as the victim, and maybe even help convincing her to make it right. I waited until after dinner, when everyone was sitting around the living room opening presents. My hands were shaking as I pulled out my phone and the folder of evidence I'd brought. I need to talk to everyone about something serious, I started, and the room got quiet except for my nephews playing with their new toys in the corner. I laid out everything. The fraudulent loans, the fake ID, the security footage, all of it. I showed them photos on my phone of the loan documents with her address. As I talked, I watched my sister's face, waiting for the mask to crack, for some sign of remorse or shame. Instead, my mom burst into tears. Not because she was shocked by the theft, but because I was trying to ruin Christmas and always trying to tear the family apart. My dad started talking over me, saying I must have taken out the loans myself and forgotten about them, that I was having some kind of breakdown. Then came the moment that felt like a physical blow. My mom, still crying, revealed that she had actually helped my sister get copies of my documents because she was going through such a hard time after her divorce and needed help getting back on her feet. They knew. My own parents had helped her steal my identity. The room erupted into chaos. My brother-in-law, who had been quietly seething, started yelling about how I was ungrateful for not helping family in need. My nephews started crying at all the shouting. My grandmother, who I've always been close to, kept repeating that family helps family, while my uncle nodded along sagely like this was some profound wisdom rather than an excuse for fraud. I was surrounded by people who were actively defending identity theft because it was done by family. My sister just sat there with this slight smug smile, knowing she had everyone wrapped around her finger. When she finally spoke, it was to say, "I can't believe you try to get me arrested when I'm a single mom trying to provide for my kids." That's when I lost it. "You're not providing for your kids," I shot back. "You're stealing from me and teaching them it's okay to commit crimes if you have a good excuse." The look of hatred she gave me made me step back. This wasn't my sister anymore. This was someone who saw me as nothing but a resource to exploit. I left dinner early, ignoring the calls and texts that started flooding in immediately. The next day, I went to the police station and filed more reports, this time with evidence of my parents' involvement in the identity theft. The detective I spoke with said this kind of family financial fraud is sadly common, but it still feels surreal. The people who taught me about right and wrong are now calling me selfish for not wanting my credit destroyed. My phone hasn't stopped buzzing with messages from relatives. Some are calling me selfish and heartless for attacking my sister right before the holidays. Others are insisting I need to drop the charges and work out a payment plan with her, basically let her get away with it while I take responsibility for her fraud. A few have suggested I'm having mental health issues and need to seek help because the sister they know would never do this to family. The gaslighting is intense. My sister has apparently been telling people I offered to help her get loans, but now I'm turning on her out of jealousy over her new car. My parents are spreading the story that I'm having some kind of breakdown and making up stories for attention. They're trying to rewrite reality to make me the villain. I'm not backing down. The police investigation is ongoing, and my lawyer says we have a solid case. But I'd be lying if I said the guilt trips weren't getting to me. There's this constant voice in the back of my head asking if I'm overreacting, if I should just give in to keep the peace. Then I look at my credit report and get angry all over again. My sister's latest tactic is bringing up childhood memories. She sent a long text about how I owe her for all the time she covered for me growing up, like when she took the blame for breaking mom's vase or helped me sneak out to parties. As if normal sibling stuff justifies stealing my identity. I've blocked her number, but her words keep echoing in my head. I keep replaying memories, wondering if I missed signs that my family was like this. Was I naive to think blood meant something more than a blank check? Were there red flags I ignored because I wanted to believe in the image of our close-knit family? My sister always played favorites with loans and gifts, manipulating everyone for money, but I never thought she'd go this far. The hardest part isn't even the money or the credit damage. It's realizing my entire family would rather protect a thief than admit one of their own did something wrong. They're more worried about keeping up appearances and maintaining their illusion of perfect family harmony than doing what's right. My lawyer warned me this would get uglier before it gets better. The detective said victims in family identity theft cases often face intense pressure to drop charges, and many cave to keep the peace. I'm prepared for the fight, but I'm terrified of being completely alone. Making the decision to pursue charges means accepting that I might lose my entire family. Right now I'm staying with my best friend while I figure out my next steps. She's been amazing, letting me cry on her shoulder and helping me stay strong when the guilt gets overwhelming. But she can't fully understand what it's like to have your entire support system turn against you overnight. The financial damage is bad enough. My credit is frozen now, but untangling these fraudulent loans will take months or years. The emotional damage feels even worse. Every call from a family member brings a new wave of manipulation tactics. They've started reaching out to mutual friends and extended relatives, spreading their narrative that I'm unstable and vindictive. My aunt called yesterday to tell me I need to think about my sister's kids. Do you want them to grow up without their mother if she goes to jail? She asked. I wanted to scream that my sister should have thought about that before committing felony fraud, but I just hung up. The guilt trips are constant and creative. I've started therapy to deal with the emotional fallout. My therapist says it's common for victims of family financial abuse to struggle with guilt and self-doubt, especially when other family members enable the abuse. She's helping me recognize the manipulation tactics and stand firm in my decisions. For those wondering about my sister's motivation, I've learned she got heavily into day trading last year and lost a lot of money. Instead of accepting the loss, she tried to recover it by borrowing more, eventually spiraling into massive debt. She saw stealing my identity as an easy solution. But having a reason doesn't make something right. The hardest moments are when I catch myself reminiscing about good times, family vacations, holiday traditions, inside jokes we shared. It feels like those memories are tainted now. Was any of it real? Was I just a mark they were grooming for eventual exploitation? The doubt eats at me. I know pursuing this is right. Identity theft is a serious crime, and the fact that it was done by family makes it worse, not better. They betrayed my trust in the deepest way possible. But watching your entire family unite against you, seeing the masks come off to reveal people you don't recognize, it's devastating in a way I can't fully describe. Some extended family members have quietly reached out to support me, though none will do so publicly for fear of being ostracized themselves. A cousin told me my sister pulled similar stunts with her ex-husband's identity before their divorce, but everyone covered it up to protect the family. I wonder how long this pattern has been going on. My lawyer is helping me dispute the fraudulent accounts and document everything for potential criminal charges. The detective says they're building a solid case. I've secured all my important documents and passwords where my family can't access them. Practically, I'm doing everything right. Emotionally, I'm a wreck. I'm sharing this partly as a warning to others. Sometimes the people closest to you can be the biggest threat to your financial security. More than that, I need to know I'm not crazy for refusing to sweep this under the rug. Every time my phone rings with another family member's number, I'm tempted to give in just to make the pressure stop. But I keep coming back to one thought. If I back down now, I'm telling my sister and my parents that what they did was acceptable. I'm teaching my nephews that crime is okay if you do it to family. I'm setting myself up for a lifetime of being their personal piggy bank. Sometimes love means holding people accountable, even when it hurts. Update. Thank you all for the supportive comments. It helps to know I'm not alone in dealing with family financial abuse. To those sharing similar stories, I'm so sorry you've experienced this too. Being betrayed by family creates a special kind of pain. I don't know what the future holds, but I'm done letting them manipulate me into accepting abuse as family love. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is walk away from toxic people, even if they share your blood. I'm learning that family should be defined by actions and respect, not just DNA. For now, I'm focusing on protecting myself legally and emotionally. My credit is frozen, my accounts are secured, and I'm working on building a support network that doesn't enable abuse. It's a long road ahead, but for the first time in months, I feel like I'm standing on solid ground.